Hey, what's up guys? It's your girl Jade Ashley and I am back for yet another video of When a Beat Drops. And like always, I'm here to give you my 5 hottest beats in music of this week. So of course, you gotta stay tuned for more. Okay guys, so let's dive into this week's beats. So my first beat of this week, I have to talk about Xscape. So last weekend they were on Watch What Happens Live with Andy Cohen. You know that they have their whole little just kicking it or still kicking it series that's going on Bravo right now. So they were the guests last weekend Sunday, and it all sounds good or whatever, but it definitely has to be one of the most awkward interviews I've seen on that show ever. So like I said, they have their show and stuff like that. So pretty much the show is just showing them getting back together, preparing, singing together for the first time in years, figuring out, how they're going to tackle these performances that, have passed by now. But we were just seeing like the preparation and stuff like that. So they were on Andy Cohen's show, and everything about that interview was just to me. Like, first of all, the show was good. I liked the show. Last weekend was the second episode, so obviously with them being on Bravo and stuff like that, it just made sense to finally like have them on the show and stuff. But one thing that I kind of felt like irked my nerves when it came to that interview was that Andy, I felt like he was just talking to Candy. Now obviously he has more of a relationship with Candy and knows Candy more than the other 3 members, just for the simple fact that she is also on Real Housewives of Atlanta. So I understand why his questions were more directed towards Candy, but I just kind of felt like for most of the interview he was asking Candy questions and stuff like that. So at one point in time it was just like the interview was just dead silent, and it was just Andy and Candy talking back and forth and stuff or whatever. And then another thing that really irked my nerves about that interview was that Andy just kept on asking about all of the old stuff that everybody already knows about, stuff that pretty much drove to like their breakup and stuff. So he was talking about how, Tamika sat here and told the lie on Candy on the radio and all this other stuff. And, it was just, every question that he was asking was pretty much just awkward. And I just felt like, come on, you're Andy. I feel like you could ask better questions. He did mention that they were going on tour, which they are doing. I think their tour starts next week. They're going on tour and stuff like that, but I just felt like he should have asked more things pertaining to what they are now as a group. So I mean, he could have asked questions about you guys toured a lot together back in the past, you're jumping on tour again, what's the difference between back then compared to now. He could have asked right now it's really a trend for a lot of old school artists or whatever, artists that were popping in the 90s. They're all doing all of these tours and stuff. They're joining together on tours. So they could have asked about, what are your other favorite acts from your era that's on tour, or what different are you going to bring from these other tours, just other questions he could have asked other than, so y'all broke up because of this, and what happened, and how did you apologize, and when did you apologize, how did you feel about apologizing. It was just he was reopening old wounds, and it just made the atmosphere very awkward and stuff like that. But then his awkward questions definitely led to some new information that kind of had everybody just be it's just and that question was, were they working on new music? And basically they revealed that Latasha, Tamika, and Tiny are all working on new music, and Candy's not. And then when he asked Candy, so why aren't you making new music with the other girls, Candy was like, I'm just gonna be on Broadway, I'm doing other stuff or whatever. So that sent social media into a frenzy and stuff like that. And just the tension, the awkwardness that interview consisted of, and then also them revealing that information of them making new music without Candy, it was just kind of bruh, this reunion is over and it just got started. That's how it kind of felt or whatever, basically. And it was just very, very, very awkward. But then later on this week or whatever, Tamika, she actually took to Instagram, she put out this, not a statement, but she kind of addressed, I guess, everything that everyone was saying regarding them making new music without Candy, or just the overall awkwardness that interview consisted of. And she basically just said, we're getting back together, things are different now, we're kind of just working through our issues that we do have, and we can just promise y'all that when this tour starts, it's just going to be something that's incredible and stuff like that. So I'm just hoping they could have a successful tour first and foremost, because a lot of people, they going into the side eye, and I'm like, okay, now you know, we know y'all had beef and, you know, thankfully y'all worked it out, but did y'all really work it out? That's what everybody was saying. And, you know, I kind of felt like that, you know, after watching that interview myself, and I was watching it in real time. Like, I just happened to just be watching it, and I'm just like, this interview was just like it wasn't so good. And I always say that I feel like, you know, Xscape definitely had one of the most memorable episodes of Unsung on TV1, because it's just like it was so much unresolved, to the point that even when that show aired, you know, they were still saying their 2 cents about the situation. Candy and Tiny was on Twitter talking about this person is lying at, like, so, you know, it was furthest from my mind to ever see them, you know, reunite so soon, because that episode of Unsung came on last year, if I'm not mistaken. So, I mean, if y'all checked out that interview of Xscape on Watch What Happens Live last weekend with Andy, definitely comment below and let me know your thoughts. Do you feel like this, you know, Xscape reunion's in jeopardy, or whatever the case may be? Just definitely comment below and let me know what you're thinking. So we're going to move on to my second beat of this week, and I have to obviously talk about Meek Mill. So I haven't done a video in, like, I don't know, like 3 weeks or something like that, whatever, you know. But obviously one of the most talked about things that's going on in music right now is Meek Mill. So by now we all know that Meek Mill, he was sentenced to 2 to 4 years jail time for violating his probation. Obviously that's the reason why he's behind bars or whatever. And, you know, it's just been a lot going on surrounding that situation. A lot of artists, you know, have been showing their support. Not just artists, just celebrities in general have been showing their support for Meek Mill and stuff like that. You know, even like Jay-Z and Colin Kaepernick have been like calling his sentencing, you know, just like injustice, like wrongful. They labeled him as one of the, you know, black males that have been wrongfully like jailed or whatever due to the justice system and all of this other stuff. And just so much has been coming out since he's been locked up. You know, his lawyers have been pretty much vocal in the media and kind of letting everybody and his fans know what's been going on. They said that the judge, who's actually like an African-American woman, they were saying that she has like a vendetta against him and stuff like that, and she's just pretty much, I guess, I don't want to say getting revenge, but she's just using her power for no good. They said that she requested that he remix Boyz II Men's one of Boyz II Men's songs. I think it was Down on Bended Knee. I think they said that she asked him to, you know, remix. They also said that she, you know, said that she wanted him to leave Roc Nation and sign with her friend's management company. Like, it's just a lot. You know, obviously we weren't there in the courtroom to hear or see, but, you know, this is what his lawyers are, you know, pretty much telling the public and stuff like that, and just basically kind of going along with the stigma that he was wrongfully jailed and stuff. And I mean, I guess 2 to 4 years in prison definitely does, you know, kind of seem harsh for probation violation. I don't know the exact details of everything. Some people were saying that he failed a drug test. Some people saying that was a lie. Some people were saying, you know, it had to do with, you know, just a couple of run-ins and stuff that he had, you know, since he's been out. You know, he was here in New York, like around the time his album dropped, you know, he was here in New York. He got arrested for riding motorcycles in the street. You know, he had an incident in an airport with these employees, but, you know, the charges for that eventually got dropped. Like, it was a lot going on. But, you know, I just kind of feel like him getting jailed for 2 to 4 years was definitely a shocker. I feel like it popped up out of nowhere, and it was kind of like, damn, really? So, you know, everybody, like literally a lot of people have been showing him support. This past Monday they had a rally for Meek out in Philadelphia, and it was like literally tons of people that was outside of the, I believe, the courthouse or whatever in Philadelphia, pretty much just protesting like free Meek. You know, they had Rick Ross out there, you know, people were out there, you know, rapping his lyrics, and it was a lot. It was definitely a lot. The last I heard of the whole situation, they were saying that he had a bail hearing, but when I like checked up on it again, they were saying that it was canceled because it was labeled as an administrative error. So they really playing with it. So or playing with him, I should say. But yeah, hopefully, I mean, if he's wrongfully jailed and he does not deserve to be in there, obviously I would hope that I would want him, you know, to be out and, you know, making his music and, you know, taking care of his family and stuff like that. Because I mean, even for a minute, even with him releasing his album like not too long ago, he released Dreams and Nightmares. That was like what, this past summer. That was like July or something like that. He not Dreams and Nightmares, Wins and Losses, excuse me, but yeah, his last album, Wins and Losses, he released that this summer back in July. And even with him, you know, promoting that, after the promotion for that, you know, kind of was over, he's been pretty much laying low. That's how I said I kind of felt like, you know, him being jailed really came out of nowhere in my eyes, or that's how I felt. But yeah, I guess, you know, everybody talking about free Meek Mill and all of this other stuff, so definitely, you know, let me know your thoughts when it comes to Meek Mill and his recent situation. Now we're gonna move on to my third beat of this week, and I have to talk about Remy Ma and Lil Kim. So this week, Remy Ma, she dropped the official music video to her new single, Wake Me Up. Now the single will appear on her upcoming album, 7 Winters and 6 Summers, on her new label, Columbia. You guys know she's on Columbia Records right now, so this is the first official single, and she dropped the music video. And when the song first came out, because I know she, you know, it was like being shown that she was shooting a video with Lil Kim. Nobody knew what the song was, so she dropped the song first before the video, obviously. So she dropped the song, and when I first heard the song, it caught me. I was like, yes, for me. What I loved about this song, and what I still love about this song, is the simple fact that she sampled Mary J. Blige and Lil Kim's songs, I Can Love You. Like, that had me sold. The simple fact that she has Kim featured on the song, and that she sampled that classic song, I was already here for it. So I'm listening to it, and she's spitting, and I'm like, okay. Then Kim part come up. Kim, she's on the chorus, and it kind of brought it down for me a little bit, because I didn't know what Lil Kim was saying. I'm like, what the hell is she saying? And then there's at one point in time, it was like the bridge of the song, I still don't know what the hell Kim is saying, and she got like this whole auto-tune, I don't know what it is, but I really wasn't here for Kim's part all the way. I really don't like the part with her on the bridge. I don't like that. I still don't like that shit. But, you know, when it comes to like the chorus and stuff like that, I'm a little bit more accepting of it, because one, I looked up the lyrics, and then two, is like when you hear a song over and over and over again, it either sticks with you or it doesn't. And, you know, listening to the song over and over, it definitely sticks with me. So I'm really feeling the song more than I did when I first heard it. It's just that little bridge part of Lil Kim, I didn't really like it. And the reason I didn't like it is because before Remy dropped her song, you know, Kim, she dropped her song, Took Us a Break, and she's sitting there spitting on that. So I, you know, knowing that she had a record with Remy coming out, I'm thinking, oh, they both gonna be spitting or whatever and stuff like that. Remy spitting, and Kim was doing what she was doing on that bridge or whatever. Chorus is okay now because I'm used to it, and obviously the chorus is what sticks with you the most when it comes to a song and stuff like that. So it's easy for me to do Kim's part before I can do Remy's part, because Remy, you gotta learn that, but the choruses are like a repetitive type of thing and stuff. But overall, I like the song without a doubt. And then the music video, they both look great in the music video. I feel like the music video fits the song really perfectly and stuff like that, and the music video made me like the song more than I did before. So I'm absolutely here for it. So actually, if you want to check out the whole music video in its entirety, you can head over to my blog at www.jade-ashley94.blogspot.com. It's doing really well. She got over 1 million views in one day of the video being out. So, you know, Remy, she's doing her thing, she's working, and I'm just glad to see her reaching her success and doing what she needs to do, you know. So yeah, we're gonna move on to my fourth beat of this week. And I know I was supposed to talk about this, but let me tell y'all what happened. So my fourth beat of this week is gonna have to go to Chris Brown. So, you know, Chris Brown, he's pretty much riding off of the success of his latest album, which is Heartbreak on the Full Moon. So the last time I did a video, I was supposed to come back, supposed to review the album, but what had happened was, you know, I knew he was coming out with an album with 45 songs, so it's like, oh shit, he coming out with mad music. But it's like, when you actually get the music, it's kind of hard to listen to 45 songs in one sit. It really is. It really is. It literally took me like 4 to 5 days to get through the entire album. Like, I can't sit and listen to, you know, just the album straight through, just because I have like so much I have to do. So it's like I literally had to listen to this entire album in sections. And by the time I finished with it, I was just like, look, it's late, it's too late or whatever, but I will let you guys know that I did listen to the whole album. I like the album, and I have my selective few favorite songs, well, not few, but I have a good amount of favorite songs that I liked from the album and stuff like that. So overall, definitely Chris Brown, definitely 2 thumbs up from me. So that's my little If y'all ever wondered what I thought about Chris Brown's album, I do like it, and apparently everybody else likes it as well, because 2 weeks ago he released the album, and the album's now gold. The album actually has been gold since his first week, so first week he went gold and stuff like that, and he just continues to keep climbing the charts. And I mean, with 45 songs, you know he gonna be on the charts for a minute with this one right here. So yeah, reaching #1 on Billboard, reaching number 3, excuse me, with the hip-hop and R&B albums and stuff like that. So shout outs to Chris Brown. You know, that whole sitting and, you know, being silent and, you know, staying out the public eye, and it kind of worked for him, you know, stuff like that. Then he dropped an album, and look, he got a whole nother gold album and stuff. So my last beat of this week, I am going to talk about Mr. August Alsina. It's kind of like August Alsina, he just kind of like disappeared off the face of the earth, especially when it comes to like music and stuff like that. You know, he's been pretty much laying low. And we all know that he does have health issues. He's been very vocal about all of the health issues he's had. You know, he got liver disease. He blind in the eye. He got a lot going on. He did go on tour not too long ago, I want to say. I feel like he did like a little miniature tour and stuff like that, or whatever. I don't know what he performed there, but well, he has albums, so he has music to perform. I'm not saying it like that, but you know, he just didn't have anything that was like really new, that was big enough or whatever. But you know, he did go out on the road not too long ago. I know he had like Road Timmy with him and stuff like that or whatever. But he revealed some very interesting information as far as like why he hasn't released an album, or where his new music and stuff is like, or where his new music is at. So basically, he hit up Twitter and he said, "I would love to put my album out, but Def Jam is holding it / me hostage because the system is not up and running until next year, so they basically don't exist. The label is just trash. I will release free music soon, but that has been the hold up. Tell them to free me and the album." So basically he's saying Def Jam is to blame. You know, they're holding him and his music hostage, so he wants out of Def Jam and he wants his album free. Long story short, that's what he said. So that's pretty much what's going on with him. You know, I know, like, I think it was like last year he did like 2 or 3 songs or something like that didn't really stick. I know one of those songs was called Drugs or something. I believe I talked about it, and I was saying how I didn't really feel it like that, and I love August Alsina, so I was just waiting for him to drop more music for me to just be like, yes, this is the August that I know and love and stuff like that. But he's saying Def Jam is not letting him release no new music, and I guess that's why I haven't heard anything and why you haven't heard anything from him. But yeah, he's at a roadblock right now. I definitely hope, you know, I don't want to say him airing them out or whatever will lead to something, but you know, he said something about it, so hopefully, you know, soon we can get some new music from Mr. Alsina. But other than that, those are my 5 hot beats of this week. Okay guys, so I want to thank you for tuning in to this week's video, and of course, you know, I have to end every single video by reminding you guys to comment, like, subscribe, and share. It would greatly be appreciated. I have one quick note to leave you guys with this week, and that is to remind you that the 2017 Soul Train Awards will be airing on BET next weekend. The show already went down, so you know, it's obviously pre-recorded, but I've seen some pictures, you know, some clips and stuff or whatever that's been going around social media, so I'm definitely here for the show. Erykah Badu, she's hosting again. You know, artists that were at the show include people like Kalani, who I absolutely love, Seven Streeter, Bridget Kelly, Ro James, Tank, you know, Tamar's performing, Toni Braxton's being honored, SWV is being honored. Like, I just feel like it's going to be a night of just, especially if you're an R&B lover like myself. So definitely don't forget to tune in next week Sunday, BET at 8 p.m. the 2017 Soul Train Awards. I will definitely be tuned in, and I will be coming back to let you guys know my thoughts on this year's award show. So definitely be sure you're keeping it locked here for that. Other than that, I have to leave you with my song of the week. Now my song of the week is going to have to go to Mr. Chris Brown. So like I said, I didn't get the chance to do my album review, but I'll let you know that I absolutely love the album, and I have my select favorite songs from that album, and one of my favorite songs from that album will have to be his song Only For Me, featuring Verse Simmons and Ty Dolla $ign. So if you want to check out that song in its entirety, definitely check below in the description box so you can hear it if you're not already up on it. Other than that, I want to thank you again for tuning in to this week's video, and I will see you guys next time. So bye. Hey guys, thank you for watching, and don't forget to share and subscribe, and I will see you all next time.